Hello, just real quick. Fucking this stupid Matt loser. He's doing a live stream, right? And he's fucking just lying his ass off. This is the kind of weird reality that I don't understand. It's like, how do you misremember reality and then you just make up your own version and shit, right? And this is the kind of shit. It's like, dude, all you gotta do go back and watch the actual videos and stuff, right? So, but first he's talking about Tupac, but I'm going to talk about just really quick. I want to answer a couple of the fucking things about what they were talking about. So right here, though, this is where I was like, dude, you went too far. What the fuck are you talking about? Matt says that he watched a video of mine and I was saying I was there when Tupac got shot. And then Matt said, he said, then the video went on. And I said, no, I wasn't there. I was just alive. No, I was there. I was in the fucking MGM casino when the fight happened. I explained exactly in detail how the crowd moved. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Because I had never experienced something. I'm in the MGM Grand. And I talk about when we watched all the people going into the fight that night. The reason I went there, because the guy I was with bet like fucking... what did he bet? It was like $8,000 to $10,000. He fucking, the reason I was there that weekend, okay, because I wasn't living in Vegas at that time and shit. The reason I was there because I was gambling at that time, and fucking my bookie wanted to go bet the Tyson fight because that's like, I believe that was Tyson's first fight after he got out of jail. When I'm setting up the scene, this is from my memory about what had happened and shit, my recollection. So I was with my bookie, and he's like, dude, I'm going to fucking Vegas. I'm going to bet Tyson to win under 2 rounds because Tyson has a historic rate of knocking out people in the first round. That's like a thing. It's like when you're a gambler, this is the kind of shit that you invest your money in, right? So the guy was like, I'm going to Vegas. I'm betting Tyson and he bet, I can't remember how much he bet, but it was like around like 10 grand. It was something like that. It was like 10 grand to win, close to 10 grand. It's about even money type of bet. And he's like, I'm going to go bet Tyson to fucking win under 2 rounds, whatever. It was something like that, right? So fucking, so I went with him. And shit, right? That's how it happened. And so when we go there, and so he's got the bet, but I'll tell you exactly. He bet the bet at the actual Caesar's Palace, but the fight was over at the MGM. Like, I'll tell you the actual details. He actually made the bet at Caesar's Palace. We went over, and then the fight was going on at the MGM, so we went over there to like hang around MGM because that's where the fight was taking place, right? So then before the fight was taking place, I always call it, I say, I had never seen nothing like this, right? And I call it was like pimps on parade. I had never seen so many like black dudes wearing fur coats with like hookers and shit. I mean, and I call it, I was like, this is what it looked like when all the people were going into the stadium, right, to watch the Tyson fight, right? And so the way I described it, it was pimps on fucking parade and shit. That's the way it looked like and shit, right? And these are the details I can tell you because I was there. Right? So then after the fight happens, we're hanging around in the sportsbook area because another one of my friends that I knew from LA, him and his girlfriend, they happened to be there in Vegas, right? So then me and the guy I was with, right, we're hanging out in the MGM, and then all of a sudden the guy comes up, he's like, John? He's like, John, hey, what's up, right? So that's how it goes and shit. You run into people you know and shit, right? When you're in that environment, you know lots of people and shit. So we were hanging out with him and his girlfriend, we're all hanging out, and then all of a sudden, boom, the fucking crowd starts moving. And I describe it, the way I describe it is like being back in high school. Because I'm from LA. My high school had fucking 3,000 fucking people in it. And you'd have a big fucking like courtyard area for lunchtime and stuff like that. And then once in a while, there might be a fight. And at that time, if you weren't right there at the spot where the fight was happening, what would happen is you would be there, and all of a sudden there would be a huge movement of people. And you would see the crowd. All of a sudden there'd be a movement of a crowd starting to move. Something was happening, right? And so that's like what I describe as what happened. But I had never seen nothing like that in a casino. Which I wasn't in a lot of casinos at that time. Not like I was always there at that time. But it was a really weird feeling, right? So also we're in the casino. It was after the Tyson fight. And all of a sudden the crowd started moving, like movement, like what the fuck? There was chaos. It was like, what the fuck is going on, right? That was the Tupac fight. That was the fight that he got in. So I was there. I didn't see Tupac. I didn't see him in the fight, but I was in the MGM and I saw the crowd movement and all. So I was there when that occurred. Yeah, I was fucking right there. So then what happened is my friend had the bet and we went back over to Caesars, all 4 of us, me, the guy I was with, and then the other friend I was with and his girlfriend. We went back over to Caesars for my friend to cash his ticket. And then my friend asked him for first he asked him for a comp for a room. And then they said, no, you got to bet 20 grand to get a comp for a room, right? That's what they told him. So I can tell you the details. It's the Caesar's Palace, the sports book. The guy said you have to wager $20,000 to get a room comp, right? So he says, but I can give you a comp for like 4 at some food place, whatever it was, right? So he gave us some free food comp for 4. We all went and sat down and ate. After we ate, we split up. Me and my friend that I was with, we left and went out to the strip and started walking on the strip. And my friend and his girlfriend, they went back to their hotel room. They were staying there, right? So then me and my friend, we're walking down the strip after that, and now we come upon a crime scene, right? All of a sudden, boom, the tape, yellow tape, crime scene. And we come upon the crime scene, and I see a black BMW with bullet holes in it, and the rims are all bent up. And I always point out that the rims was one of the things, it's like when you see it, it's like, okay, there was obviously that car didn't get shot there because the rims were bent, so you could tell that the car was running. He had been running, and he had ended up there, right? But there was bullet holes in it. So I saw the car, and I came upon about maybe 10 minutes before they towed the car away. So I was there, and we're looking at this shit. I'm right there on the crime scene and shit, right? And then I watched the car be towed away. That was my Tupac experience. And then you made up some stories, me saying, I said I was there. Well, no, I was there, you idiot. Like, when people, it's like, if you want to go see Tupac's car in a museum and shit, dude, I saw Tupac's BMW on the strip with bullet holes in it the night it fucking happened. Right? So fuck you. So then you dumb motherfuckers, like, you start talking about my Beat It song. You're like, oh, I exposed John switched his thing. Dude, go back and listen to how I explain Beat It, because it starts off with Joe, and I say that's exactly. It's Joe and Catherine. The fire's in their eyes, and their words are really clear, so beat it. It's Joe and Catherine initially seeing Michael come out of the room, which I link up to the Billie Jean, when I say that, then every head turned with eyes that dreamed of being the one. This is exactly how I explain it. But you think that that's the whole thing because you're so limited in your understanding of what art is and who Michael fucking Jackson is because you're a brain dead fucking loser moron idiot. You're dead. You're dead soul, dead brain, moronic loser. Right? But you think, oh no, he's not really calling me a loser. He's just jealous. And because I attacked him one time, I was like, dude, how do you come up with these thoughts in your head? Like, what kind of fucking madness are you living in? You are so fucking brain dead moronic loser, right? So I say that's what happened is Michael told that Joe and Catherine told Michael to beat it, thinking that you're the kid of fucking Diana and Smokey. They told him you better beat it with that shit, and the fire was in their eyes and their was really, really clear. Then Michael said, you're telling me to beat it? No, I'm not allowed to be the one who I am. I'm the one with the talent. I'm the one making all of you money. Michael said, you know what? I am gonna beat it. I'll take your advice, Joe. I'm gonna beat it. I'm gonna beat everybody in the world. And when go look at the fucking letter that Michael Jackson wrote. It's the Michael Jackson's letter saying, I'm going to be the best in the world. I'm going to be this. I'm going to be that. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And there's a letter documented that Michael wrote him fucking self saying exactly what the fuck I'm telling you. Right? So that's what he did. He says, you tell me to beat it, I'm going to beat it. I'm going to be the best. I'm going to be the biggest. And because that's in his head how he started thinking the only way how to expose the truth. I got to be the best star. I got to use the only gifts and the talents of what I have. And he used all his energy and focus, put it into his music, and stopped. He stayed away from the women, which has stunted his fucking sexual development naturally, which have made him remain a virgin his entire life. That's the process and the development of how that actually fucking occurred. So then I just want to say the other thing to fucking, whatever name you got. What Julian is your name? That's what I'm trying to think what your name is. So I liked it when you're telling the stories about LSD and fucking DMT and shit, right? But you got to understand the difference. When I took LSD, I instantly understood I was a god. You're still in your primitive fucking mind brain playing with the fucking little fucking kitty shit on your DMT trips, right? I don't need to do that shit. And because you're saying, well, LSD doesn't do that. No, you got to understand the brain of which LSD was ingested in, which was my brain, which is the brain of a fucking god, right? So I only needed just a little bit of experience to clearly understand. Once I fucking took that step and saw the fucking reality, I knew exactly what the fuck was going on, right? So fuck you thinking, oh, John doesn't always talk about you. He's talking about one thing. Just shut the fuck up. You don't know what you're talking about because my brain is far superior than your brain. And when you guys keep talking about Why don't you want to do this? Why doesn't he do that? Because what I'm telling you from my judgment and my understanding, my Michael Jackson story is what I consider the face of God. That's what I call my Michael Jackson story. When you see the truth and get to the point where you understand what I'm fucking talking about and you can actually deal with reality that it's true, you will have seen the face of God. And that's what I talk about. I don't need no drugs. You want to fucking take the real trip? You want to go beyond? You want to go as far beyond as you can possibly go and see the ultimate? It's my story. It's the truth, and it's what I call the face of God, right? So suck that, you fucking pathetic fucking losers. Motherfuckers. Fuck all you.